Good morning, welcome to my kitchen. Feels so funny that there's so many people out there that know what my kitchen looks like. It was just a thought that came to me the other day while I was thinking and planning these kind of yoga flows. But one of the things I guess I'm grateful for is that I've got this little lovely space that I've kind of turned into my own little yoga studio / kitchen. And one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to post-lockdown is teaching in a studio or a gym again. It's going to be lovely to be in a space kind of designed for it and have loads of freedom and be able to see you guys. So yeah, a little gratitude thought for this morning. How are you all doing? I hope you're all okay. I miss you lots and I miss seeing your faces, but if I can't see your faces, then the next best thing is to know that I can still inflict some kind of goodness on your life through yoga and some form of pretty brutal exercise as well. So on that note, today's yoga flow is dedicated to the plank. I can imagine your faces at home. Plank! It's not that bad, please don't worry. We're going to toy and have a little mess about with the beginnings of three-legged vinyasas. So coming through a three-legged dog, and instead of putting both feet down to work through that lovely vinyasa flow movement that we've become so accustomed to together, we're going to try doing it as a three-point. So keeping one leg lifted, one foot off the floor or one knee off the floor. And there's loads of options, so do not turn off in fear yet. I'm going to give you some cool options and we're going to work through the levels. So it's going to be something new and fun to have a little play about with. Good news is we start on the floor as well. So grab your mats, wherever you are, come into a cow stance for me. So we're going to get on all fours. I need your knees about hip width apart, keeping everything in line, hips, hands about shoulder width apart. So we're nice and stable here. And with the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips, just take a little sway from side to side for me. Just as we would standing or seated, taking this initial few breaths of any yoga practice to cement our bodies with our mat, to find our space on the floor, and to ground into the practice we're about to do. Feel through your hands. Maybe scrunch your fingertips into the floor and then push the heels of the hands in and see how that internally rotates your elbows and your shoulders, kind of draws your upper back a little bit stronger and straighter. Think about your legs and your knees. Knees to the floor, hips above them, feet tucked under for a little bit of added squeeze and pressure through the toes, through the hamstrings, through the butt. Think about your spine and how in your neutral position you've got a little gentle curve in your lower back and a straight, strong upper back that we're trying not to hunch. We're lifted in the collarbones and the shoulders. And then drawing all that energy and attention down to your midsection. Think about your belly button. Think about drawing your belly button in to wrap the lower tummy muscles around the spine. And then keep drawing the belly button in till you start to curl and curve your upper back. Drawing your belly button high towards the ceiling, make a cat arch and roll the shoulder blades. And then exhale, release all that tension from your belly button. Let it flop down towards the floor and feel how that just draws your back into extension. We can lift the head, neck and shoulders and take a look forward. You're going to do that movement 4 more times for me with breath, thinking all the energy in the movement starts at your center and at your belly button. So inhale, draw it in and up to the ceiling, curl the spine to follow. And then exhale, let it release. Let the spine move naturally through these 2 poses. Inhale. 2 poses, cat and cow, but it's the movement that we're after. So use all of the time of your inhale and exhale breath to move. Try not to get there and stop. Think slowly. Create that movement and that flexion. On your last exhale breath, as you push the chest forward, take your head all the way over the right shoulder, squeezing the ribcage towards the hip. Make that lovely big turn. Draw the shoulder back towards the hip and squeeze the waist. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, let the shoulders start to drop. Inhale, one more time, cat to cow. Inhale, squeeze round and over to the other side. Exhale, draw back through center line. Place the big toes together, flatten the feet to the floor. Lift the knees and take them ever so slightly wider. And then sink back into your child's pose. Bring forehead to the floor and relax the arms. Now if your forehead doesn't make it to the floor here, do not worry. This might be a little too much flexion in the knees, in which case I just encourage you to come onto your forearms, leave your hips a little bit higher in the air, and do whatever feels comfortable. Okay, but if it's comfortable to push your hips back onto the heels and relax the forehead down so that the neck is taking no strain, do so and then just think about reaching the arms forward. Take 3 breaths here. Every exhale, softening the hips down. Enjoy this lovely slower pace and slower start to the overflow today. And keeping that real sense of calm inside your body. Take it and move it through a light level 1 round of Vinyasa. So thinking about using your inhale breath to draw and lift the eye gaze, set it forward. An exhale breath to come up out of child's pose and inch the knees back in line with hips. An inhale breath to draw up onto your toes and into your high plank. And then an exhale breath, knees and feet to floor, chest down to floor. An inhale breath to squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the rib cage. And then an exhale breath to roll over the hips and the toes, back into a child's pose, and then lifting the hips and the knees when you're ready, and into a down dog. We're going to roll forward again. Inhale, push out of the heels, push the toes to the floor, roll your spine, roll your shoulders, draw the body weight forward, and when you're over your wrists in your high plank, draw the shoulder blades together to straighten the spine, and pop the knees to the floor. Both feet bend, heels towards butt. Lift your right hand and at the same time rotate on the left knee. Find your modified side plank for me. So we're here, squeezing the waist off the floor with the knee lifted and the top arm to the ceiling. Can you take your right leg and extend it long? Toes touch the floor. Little bit stronger in our side plank. We can lift that bottom foot up and keep reaching. Hand to ceiling, chest open, waist squeezing underneath you. Squeeze outer thigh and butt to lift the leg. Hold. You're going to find our modified flower, kneeling flower pose. Take this top arm behind your back to your hips. Kick your top foot behind you and take a hold of it. Squeeze the butt and push the foot into the hand. Make a little stretch here, one more breath. Exhale, find the hand back to the floor. Roll your body back into your kneeling plank and try and keep the right leg lifted. Here we go, low level Vinyasa. Inhale, draw your body down to the floor, keeping the foot lifted. And when your chest and shoulders meet and relax, relax the leg too. Inhale through baby cobra or full cobra, striking the chest up. Exhale, tuck the knees and the toes, find your down dog. Let's get the same on the other side. So I'm going to turn away from you here. Inhale, push out the feet. Draw the shoulders up to the ears. Inhale, roll and curl the spine. Dropping straight, strong spine into high plank. Exhaling knees to floor. Tucking heels in towards the butt as they lift. Free the left arm and rotate on the right knee. Other side plank. Breathe in and reach that hand high. Exhale and extend top leg. Big toe on the floor is the option. Stay here if it feels right. Little more, give me one deep breath and squeeze the top leg up. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the outer thigh. Reach along through toes and fingertips. Exhale, drop the top hand behind your hip and bend your top knee. Find the hand to the foot and then squeeze the butt and kick away. Make that arch and extension in the back. Give me one more breath. Exhale, release the hand all the way back to the floor. Roll your body and square it. Back into your modified kneeling plank. Top leg, left leg stays high. Exhale, find the floor slowly on 3 points. Inhale, lower everything and drive the chest up to cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, push all the way back. And exhale, knees go wide, big toes together to find your child's pose. Sitting back onto the hips, lowering the head, relaxing the shoulders, exactly where you were before. 5 lovely big recovery breaths. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, let it all go. Sitting back onto the hips, or option to leave the pelvis high if your knees don't like this extreme flexion. Get a little more stretch this time. Just see if you can inch your knees literally just a tiny bit wider on the floor, and then keep pushing the hips back. It's going to give you more stretch, more lengthening in the inner thigh. Inhale, hold. Exhale, soften. Inhale, hold. Exhale, relax. Inhale, reset those energy levels. Lift your head and eye gaze forward. Exhale, work the knees in. Draw your body up and into your down dog. We're going to roll this time. Inhale, forward into your high plank. Option to drop the knees to the floor, or this time a little bit stronger. We can roll on the side of the feet and lift the top arm into side plank. Hold here, pulling your waist off the floor. We're not going to go too hard. I want the work to be in the vinyasa. Give me one more breath. Side plank. Exhale, lower. And as you lower, can you lift your right foot off the floor? Hold your plank. If you went back to here and your body feels a little like it's in down dog, I need you resetting. We are in plank. Keep the foot down if you need to, but do not let your hips lift. Now exhale, lower to the floor. Strong on the toes. Inhale, flatten the feet and lift, cobra or up dog. Exhale, roll and fold. Inhale, go one more time. Roll forward, inhale to high plank. Exhale, on knees or on toes, rotate to the left side. Left arm lifts high above you. Inhale, squeeze the waist underneath you. Exhale, find the hand to the floor, and as you roll back through center, keep the hips low in high plank, lift the left foot. Exhale, vinyasa. All the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest through cobra or up dog. Exhale, roll and fold. Back into down dog. And inhale, knees wide, big toes together, child's pose. Beautiful. These little short, sharp bursts of energy and strength in our poses. Wonderful at warming up the body, warming up your midsection. And they're really going to help and strengthen up your vinyasas in any other flows to come. The more we play about with this single leg work, the easier it's going to feel when we're 4 points on the floor. Take a few breaths just to slow your heart rate. And as you do so, work your forearms back in so they're underneath your shoulders. If child's pose is enough for your hips today, and it's feeling like enough stretch, do the same thing as we did last time. Try and inch your knees a little bit wider apart, and keep sitting back into the hips. If you want to come into frog, then you're going to join me. Okay, elbows under shoulders, shoulders come forward so the hips are about in line with the knees, and then we're going to kick our feet out. So inner part of the foot is flat to the floor, and we can eyeball our toes either side of our knees. Hold that. How does it feel? Frog should feel like a beautiful stretch inside your hips. Okay, if it's not quite there yet, use this time while your weight's still forward on your elbows, just to push the knees a tiny bit wider. Work them that little bit wider, that little bit lower to the floor, and then walk your elbows until your hips lower down. There we stay. Inhale, hold. Exhale without lifting the hips up, push them back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, push them back. Inhale, hold. Try not to let the hips go up. We want the knees wide. Exhale, the hips go back in on themselves. Staying low but pushing back in line with the knees. You're going to get that beautiful stretch on the inner thigh. And the more you tell yourself that this feels beautiful, the less it will feel hideous. Take one big inhale breath to release and just move the hips forward. Come out of the stretch tiny little bit. And then take 3 more breaths pushing into it. Exhale, go back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, push back, stay low. Inhale, hold. Exhale, relax the hips, relax the shoulders, push back. And inhale, come on out of this one. You might want to work your feet back in, work your elbows back narrow, and then slowly walk the knees back in until you're ready to either hold and fold into a little child's pose, or to take a seat anywhere that feels right for you. Release, relax the hips. Take a big breath in and a big sigh out. I got a little bit of a sweat on. I don't know about any of you. You know, one of the things that I've always struggled with is plank, and strength in your plank on your toes is by no means an easy movement. So even if you were doing that all on your knees and taking the options, I am so proud of you, because this is really, really strong work. And you know, focusing a flow on this kind of work, it does make it a tough one, and it does make it a challenge. So give yourself a little pat on the back and a little round of applause, because that was amazing. Thank you so much. Stick with me and enjoy the feeling of your hips. That frog stretch is a beautiful one. I think we've only ever done it once before in my flows, and it's really one of my favourite stretches. If it kind of pained you on the inside of the knees, that's totally normal. And what I'll recommend doing is next time having either quite a thick towel or a thin cushion or another mat that you can lay sideways and just cushion up the extra inner part of your knee, because it can be a little bit fragile there. Otherwise, it's a wonderful stretch for your hips. Internal hip rotators, yeah, they're gonna love it. And it's called the frog, which is adorable. So have a lovely day, everybody, and well done for that super strong one. I promise we'll be stretching tomorrow.